Okay, and welcome to episode 4 of the All Over the Place podcast, or AOTP. We're gonna get into the spooky vibes of this month and heading over into Halloween. We're gonna hear where the legends came from and what stories have been told over the years. That's right, we're gonna be talking about the supernatural and the paranormal. So, today we have everyone again, which is nice. Makes things a lot more easier for me. And today we're gonna have Jennifer start us off. So, Jennifer, I remember you wanted to do this again, and we got approval. So, you want to talk about the Cecile Hotel and the more supernatural of it?
Okay, so yeah, going back to the Cecile Hotel supernatural lenses. So I found out that during the video you can see her like, I don't know, like kind of like being weird about it. Like she kept coming out and in and pressing all these buttons, and I found out that that she was playing, like she can possibly be playing an elevator game, and it's like there's like a set of rules, and there's like where she meets a woman, or like a woman is supposedly to enter the elevator. It's like a spirit. So you can't physically see her. So yeah, and then so that's why she clicked all the buttons so she can play the game. And the lady comes into the elevator, and she's supposed to avoid the lady at all costs, because
that's why like she was like moving into different directions of the elevator.
I'm assuming, because like I don't know if she kills you or anything.
That is weird. So you're saying that's what led to like her supernatural death of appearing in that water tank?
I mean, it can, like, it could probably like ghost or something led her to like the tank, or it was I don't know, like it can like,
because like we touched on this, we talked about this a lot, that the tank was all sealed and there's no way for her to get in unless there's like a tool for her to use. And what they said was that it was untouched. No one was able to get it open from the way she did it. So basically this game is what led to her eventual demise.
Yeah, because this lady is supposed to lead you to something, and like and it leads you to death. So probably like, yeah, probably the lady.
You. Oh no, I was gonna say, like, does the lady like have to do with like desires or greed or something like that? Like, you know what I mean? Like the lady uses like your own desires against you.
Oh,
you know what
I know what you mean, because like Jennifer brought this up that I forgot her name, but the lady that went into the tank, like she had a desire to like do something to help out the homeless, and that's
to get rid of the homeless.
Like help to get rid of homeless, and that's what the purpose of that was. They fed on that desire of her wanting to do this one thing.
Yeah, so like this entity like used that against her.
So basically used their like desire to help people. Oh, that's sad to think that someone's own good being is what led to their demise.
Yeah, that's weird. Also, that's probably like the ghost story being probably led her to her death, because like you can see in the video how she walks out of the elevator like following someone or something.
That acted like she was like entranced into something.
Like she was talking to someone
because too. Like before she was like all erratic and like
scared,
startled. And then she's like for some reason metaled out for some reason, and then the elevator just closes and we're like,
It's kind of just creepy to see the video.
It's the most creepy thing in the world, especially that the Cecile Hotel has so many weird deaths.
Yeah.
But the most famous one was her death. The others are like,
because it's just, I don't know, it's weird how to explain how she just landed where she was found in the tank.
Yeah, because there's no way to enter.
It was completely sealed too.
There's no way. There's no way for it. Okay, so we wanted to get that off the plate because we were so involved with this story. It was the most unique thing. And Felix, what do you have for us today?
So today, I think everybody by now knows this legend, which is La Llorona.
Oh,
It's a Mexican folklore, also known in the U.S. as the Weeping Woman which she originates from Mexico, and there's stories about her all across Mexico and parts of Central America and South America, where pretty much she drowned her children in a river, and she later commits suicide for killing her children. Now she weeps, crying over her children, looking for her children pretty much, and she takes kids who look like her children. So she will take a female infant and a male infant, and they're never seen again.
Well, that is like we probably heard this story so many times.
Yeah.
And so, how do you know there's a sign of La Llorona? I'm sorry for my incorrect speaking, but is there any signs of it?
So first, there's like many stories or many ways you can identify, but it would like firstly start with you hearing like her weeping, crying for her children. It would like sound like "Ay mis hijos," but like in a very scary way, and it sounds like echoey too.
So like echoes through
the forest.
Yeah.
And like it's almost like a demonic way, and just like you can just tell if you hear those weeps.
Yeah, and it always originates from a river too. And then you start to see her presence too, because you would see a woman at night or near a river in a white dress and long black hair, and you will never be able to see her face.
Yeah, but like as soon as you see that image, you would basically be petrified.
Yeah, I think if I see that even in the daylight, I think I would want to run away.
You would just be so freaked out. Like everyone would be freaked out. They'd be like, it's only a legend. It can't be real.
Yeah.
But there's probably been like stories of like disappearance of it, like children that the description of her children like disappearing and never returning, which is so scary to think.
Wait, so that actually happened?
Yeah, in Jalisco is where like most like quote unquote cases happen. For example, there's always a female and male infant that they disappear at night and they're never seen again, or if they're seen again, it's just their corpse by a river.
Yeah,
and it's so weird too.
But that makes it less of a legend and more of like almost fact. But like people are still in disbelief. They're like, oh, it's probably like
people
doing it, like making it seem, oh, it's La Llorona, like covering up their tracks a bit. Yeah. Okay.
Wait, so like a murderer is like
like a murderer trying to act like as La Llorona,
like a copycat. But like, imagine like you going to Mexico like with your children, and then they're just gone. You're like, no, you're just scared and sad.
I mean, what I've heard about it is like there's like you hear like a crying woman, right? So like a good person would go and try to like help her, right? Like, and then that's how that's what I've heard. Like that's how she kills people by like taking advantage of the kindness of others.
Yeah. Well, there's been like Felix said, there's like many stories, many interpretations of it. Like one, like you said, is like she plays on people's goodwill and kills them, the more famous one is basically her looking for her children and taking children and then them dead. And that's just it's so weird that people have this legend like lives on till this day. There's a movie even made about it too.
The story of La Llorona is as old as the conquest of Mexico.
Really? That's old as that?
That's centuries ago, like 2 or 3. It's been a long time.
That is scary to think of. That it's as old as that. Like even though like as what you think about like as old, it's still relatively new because like other countries have been like here long before us. Like they've had more history. Okay, so Alex last time was debunking conspiracy theories and all that. What is now supernatural theories or paranormal that you have beliefs in?
Well, I don't know if I can necessarily believe in this one, but like, this is like part of a native folklore, and it's the Wendigo. It's like it's a human being that was like possessed by like a spirit, and then they turned into like this monstrous combination.
Isn't that the one like with almost like the deer skull and with the like the disfigured body?
Yeah, it has like a super long legs and like really long arms. Like
so, it basically. So what is the Wendigo like? What is its abilities? What
What does he do?
What's its story?
So basically, the story is that it was a human that got possessed by a spirit, and then it turned into this monster that has like glowing eyes, yellow fangs, has this immense strength, immense speed.
A cursed human is basically turned into Wendigo. Like
Yeah.
That's
It's-
scary to think. Like you're just cursed by a spirit, and it's like
Yeah, it's weird because like that's one of its abilities is like mimicking human voices and luring in its prey. So like you know it kind of relates to like La Llorona where I said like how she cries,
yeah.
but instead with the Wendigo he could use like these voices to ask for like help or like lure people inside the forest and kill those people.
Like using like you're in the forest with like let's say a couple of your friends, like one of them like are gone for a bit, and then you just hear them like, "Hey, I found something," and then you just get
Yeah, exactly,
you
and
just
like
get slashed.
there's like no escape because like it's like super fast. You probably will
It's
never.
also like pretty smart as well if it's able to like mimic people's voices and like
Yeah.
lure them. Like that has to be a very smart supernatural creature.
Yeah.
That kind of reminds me of like that movie, that Christmas movie. It Krampus.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
Krampus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it did some of the similar things, like, but I think the difference between like Krampus and the Wendigo, the Krampus is like supposed to be the evil version of like Santa. It's like
Yeah. Doesn't he like take kids or something?
yeah, he
like
like takes their like family. Like,
that would be creepy. Just imagine like.
oh my God. I think that like I think stories of like Krampus and the Wendigo, like I don't know which one came first, but like maybe one like played off the other.
One was inspired by the other.
One was inspired,
Yeah.
like maybe the Wendigo, like you said, it was like native folklore.
Yeah.
So like maybe like creation of like Krampus, like the idea of it is
Mhm.
based off of that.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. So those three were really good, and like it's gonna be hard to top yourself on those. So Jennifer, what other like supernatural / paranormal did you find?
So read about this woman that has like a slit mouth.
Oh, this lip mouth woman.
Yeah.
Me and Alex have heard of it. It was on infographic show
Yeah, yeah.
where they talked about someone's story of when they saw it.
Mm-hmm.
That is creepy.
Yeah, so it was just this married woman married to a samurai,
Samurai.
and she cheated on him. So in revenge, he cut her from like ear to ear.
Mouth to ear
Yeah.
to ear. Oh.
Yeah, so like if you show images, like you just see
It's
her
like
like
her mouth is like horribly disfigured.
yeah,
and all
it's
that.
like really disgusting. But anyways,
Oh.
so like she like how she haunts is she asks her victims a question regarding her beauty.
Oh, like if she's like beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And
But like, if she has a split mouth, how are you gonna lie to her and say you're beautiful? Like, does she like cover up her mouth?
yeah, she has a mask on, so you can't see her.
Oh.
So she asks the person, and if the person says yes, like if she's
Beautiful.
yeah,
Then she like what takes it off.
I'm assuming, but she cuts them.
If like she feels like there's any dishonesty in her.
Yeah, like it's like either way, if you like go up to her or she meets you, like you're
doomed?
yeah,
You're
you're
dead.
dead.
Because basically, if she's able to tell that if you're lying to her or not, you're basically doomed because she can tell if you're dishonest.
Yeah, and then you can't get away from her because
She's fast.
she's really fast or supernaturally fast. So
Wow.
like imagine like not even if you can run away
So
from
like,
her.
Okay.
once you're lured into its trap, you're basically.
What if you like climb a tree though? You know?
I feel like if it's a ghost or spirit, I
It's
think
like,
it
if it
can.
goes to spirit, it's just gonna basically pop out.
Dude,
she
that
takes
would
up
be
the whole
weird.
tree.
Like
She
if
just uses anything that she cuts her victims with and just like.
I read a little about it and I heard that if you like offer something,
Oh.
it could
If
be
you
like
offer
distract them, right?
Yeah, you
Oh,
can
That's
you,
like candy, right?
yeah, you
Like-
can offer her money, so
So
or
basically-
hard candy.
what is she gonna do with money though? Like, you think about it, it's like
it's
it's a
also
spirit.
candy. Like if you're offering her something, it has to be something that,
But what is she gonna do with the candy?
like, seriously, like,
And with the money.
and with the money.
Or with
See?
anything? So it's just
See,
like.
this is.
I
guess
guess
it's-
it's like a test for the person to like give up something that may be like
you
important.
give up something.
Yeah,
she
kind of like
lets you
money
Or
is
you-
like very important to people, or like
I mean,
Oh, like.
but
like,
she's a spirit, so.
Like, yeah, I know. But basically, what I remember from the infographic show, like, this dude was talking about how he saw his father, like, taken by this figure,
Mhm.
and he realized it was this split mouth woman. And
Yeah.
He was trying to figure out who she was, how to appease her.
But you can also tell her that she's average and she'll just like leave you alone. But like, how does that even like?
Well,
I would rather be complimented than saying that I'm average.
well,
know?
it-
But, like-
probably when you're saying she's average, it's something that she is unheard of, because probably back at the time when she's like married to Samurai, back into the
Oh yeah.
like they're called like ugly or beautiful. They're either praised or not. If you're called average, it's something that we use today. It's more of a terminology we use. Like, we don't want to disrespect them, but also you can't say they're ugly at the same time. It's like really hard to do. But back to what I was saying is like there's a victim of her that survived somehow. But even though he escaped, she left him with a reminder of it and had a slash
Oh,
on
the,
his
the
thing.
scar.
Yeah, the scar. It wasn't a pure mutilation of the mouth. It was a scar
Mm.
to just keep remembering. It
I
was. It's a horrifying thing to think about.
What if it happens to like one of you guys?
Well,
Not saying it would,
well,
but
if
like,
you don't see us the next day, you know we're taking by the split mouth.
where did she take you? Like,
No, that's the thing. No one knows.
I didn't.
No one knows.
What if she like cuts you up into like little bits and pieces, never be found?
Well,
She makes you no.
makes you into
It makes you into little pebbles.
Like what about
Some
a
sushi.
smoothie?
Oh,
Oh, that's
okay.
What if she drinks it?
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so now that we're away from that horrifying imagery, Felix, what is something else paranormal supernatural you found?
something else I found is from Irish folklore,
Oh.
the Banshees.
Oh,
I wasn't able to find how they're made.
like how they came to be.
Yeah, how they came to be. It was very hard to like find research on
It's
it.
probably hard because like some legends are like created out of the blue and then they just like people like create more stories off of it.
Yeah.
So maybe the Banshee doesn't have like a set in stone creation,
Yeah.
but maybe it's based off of some ancient Irish Gaelic text that they have found.
Yeah.
Because I remember that with some cultures in Europe, they have a sort of, especially for Irish and Scot people, they have a similar dialect. It's called Gaelic,
Mhm.
and it's really hard to defer if you don't have like years of it.
Well, on the research I did, it's mainly a female spirit it's kind of like the Wendigo.
Like the Wendigo.
Yeah, because when you hear her weeping, she's weeping for someone that died of your family. So let's say your uncle died and you hear her weeping, you're gonna hear her weeping for your uncle. And as soon as you hear that, you're pretty much doomed or you're marked.
Basically, like with no, also like Alex, like with yours, the Lorona, like if you hear the crying, you're basically in danger because you're basically been chosen.
Yeah.
Because
Sorry.
I'm sorry, you just read like that's scary to think like you're chosen, like you did something. You're.
But like,
basically-
how would they like know you? Like,
Because-
was they?
It's probably like it's spirits. They're like spirits that have unfinished business and some of that.
Mm.
Basically meaning that they're lingering around something.
Yeah.
And there's a spirit that's latched onto you. It might be the Banshee, the Lorona, or like a Wendigo, like something. Any of these spirits or creatures, they can possibly target you depending on like something you did.
Yeah.
Mm.
And typically, if they show themselves, they would be like kneeling or wailing or walking, crying
Yeah.
for the person that died. So, like, example, if it was your uncle, they would be like kneeling, crying for your uncle, or like weeping for your uncle. And
Imagine
stuff.
they said the uncle's name. That would be.
They do that. They do that.
They say the
Yes,
name
they
of
say
the
their name.
person
Yeah.
that died.
Yeah, but like, do you like just see her like out of nowhere?
Yeah, like for example, let's say you're like in your house and you start to hear weeping. It's gonna be outside your house, and she'll be like kneeling or like walking around crying.
Outside your house.
Yeah, like naming
Saying
your uncle's name
saying-
or the person who died's
But-
name.
But why would they target you? Is the thing. I'm trying to figure out.
That's something I couldn't figure out because like it has to do with some type of vendetta that they have.
So like maybe you did something to the uncle. Or,
No,
like,
no, it's something that your family or your lineage did
Oh.
to like their family or lineage.
So basically, once a family member dies, they basically appear and then they take a vendetta on the
Yeah.
family.
But I don't know, because banshees they could have been humans that turned into banshees.
I see.
Yeah, it's something like really weird, and like I also find fascinating because like it was like good looking researching because it was like very abnormal.
I bet. So basically, and also I heard like I remember banshees. It's like a vague memory is that their screams and wails are so loud.
Yeah, that's actually how she kills you. So
She kills you with sound.
yeah, she
Oh,
she
not
she
painful.
first because she first like when she targets you, you start to hear her weeping for your dead family member.
And then she like moves on.
Yeah, and then like
increases her sound.
she keeps haunting you until like she shows herself her full presence, and it does what it's called a sonic scream, which produces an abnormal like sound, which doesn't kill you but makes you want to commit suicide
It
until
makes you
you
wanna
actually
die.
until you actually commit suicide.
So basically, it's a suicidal scream.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so sad.
It's painful.
It's
Yeah, it's
painful
really
but sad.
painful.
Like it makes you drive yourself to kill yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, but there could be like a way of avoiding banshees, because I know like we all have heard like the myths and ideas that if you use salt or like make a circle of salt and you stand within, it won't hurt you. In like this mythology or this legend, it is true. Or you can like cover your house with salt and you
Like,
shouldn't be
cover it around.
protected.
Cover your
Like
house
basically,
with
you make a
salt.
circle
Yeah.
of salt. You basically outline it out, and then the bench can't hurt. Okay, that is scary.
But like, if you think about it, like, if your eardrums like explode, you're safe.
Yeah, but I feel like you would die before the
You would
explode.
probably
Well-
die from the bleeding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The internal bleeding that's gonna happen as soon as your eardrum is fractured. So, and lastly but not least, like he ended us off last time, he's gonna end it off again today. What is your best supernatural / paranormal creature that you found?
All right. So this one is from Guatemalan native, folklore, and this is only exclusive to Guatemala. So, and this person is La Siwanaba. Basically, it's a woman, like La Llorona, but this time it has a horse face and chicken legs. And she there's no specific origin from her. It's just you just randomly see her.
It's like a legend that started of itself.
Yeah, kind of like the Banshees, where you really don't know.
It doesn't have a defined origin point.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And she only targets men who cheat or are drunk at night, only at night, and specifically near roads, because over there in Guatemala, there's a lot of people who don't have that much money, they live in poverty, so they ride on horse or walk home. So you would randomly just see a woman just there. You wouldn't see her face until you actually turn around, because she would offer you a ride. Magically on a horse, some horse would just appear, or sometimes you offer her for help because you're there's a woman in the middle of the road for no reason.
You're asking to say, hey, do you need a ride somewhere
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this, because there's so many stories in my family that they have told me, and one of the stories is one of my grandpas, he was riding by horse and he was drunk. So there you go, he was drunk that day. And then he saw a woman in a black dress just on the road sitting there. and then he offered her help, and she got on, but he never looked at her face.
Oh.
And she told him to go to his home, and he was kind of creeped out by that because like, how would a random woman?
No.
No.
How is she going to?
Yeah,
my
exactly. Like, why would she know that?
Why would you want? Oh,
Maybe stalker.
stop.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know that, but like
but okay.
he had doubts, and then when he finally turned around, he saw the ugly horse face, and then looked down and saw the chicken legs, and like he got creeped out and immediately pushed her off and ran.
So I have some disbeliefs with it. You can see why, because like you said, targets like people like that are drunk and all that.
Hmm.
And, like when you're drunk, you like maybe you see some like delirious stuff. and
Yeah.
all that. But that's all. That's just based on my opinion on how things
Mhm.
go. It's not full fledged, but like some people are like, oh, you target people that are drunk. Seems kind of
Yeah,
But
that's us.
also like targets like men who cheat. So
yeah.
like,
But then there's the other part, like, oh, maybe there's a pattern, like maybe they get drunk and they like start cheating.
yeah, and she does this to help like the women who are affected by these men. So you know,
Definitely. Because that is also a problem. Like a lot of men cheat.
yeah,
A lot of men cheat, especially getting drunk.
yeah,
They definitely get susceptible to cheating.
exactly, and like maybe like what I think maybe the origin is maybe she herself got cheated on, and that's why she targets those men who cheat.
Got it.
She probably could have like committed suicide, and like out of like vendetta, she like probably came back as spirit or a
Like,
horrible
she had
being.
unfinished business. Like,
Yeah, she had
doesn't want
unfinished
that to happen
business.
again.
And
Yeah.
that's why she came back like with such like with the horse face and chicken. Like, she looked like not I'd say unattractive, but to put a horror into men who
What
cheat.
if like the
To like
whoever
remind
she-
them, like if you cheat, remember my face.
Yeah.
or what if like the guy she was with that cheated on her, like what if he always just called her those like she looks like a little
Oh
horse,
yeah,
or,
that
like-
could have been it
She like
too.
that-
That
She has your face is like a horse. Your legs are like chicken legs.
Yeah.
They're too scrawny.
Yeah, and what also I think is like she only targets people who are walking or on horse. So like maybe she had to do something with like a horse. Maybe she died on a horse. Maybe
Or
she.
maybe she got trampled,
Yeah.
like something on that.
Yeah.
So this was really interesting. Like I'm glad to hear this because this is probably unique because I've never heard anything of that.
Yeah.
Because it's like something more unique to
your culture.
your
Yeah,
culture.
yeah.
Because you grew up in I can't remember.
Yeah, I grew up over there, and like
Yeah.
I heard all of those stories.
All the stories, and then you moved over here.
Mhm.
So that is really interesting. I thank you all for the research you guys did. That was really good. And to the people that listen to this episode, November is going to be an interesting podcast because we're going to not focus on Thanksgiving because it's been talked to death about. So you're going to be prepared for an interesting podcast. Hope you all enjoy your day.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Why did I